Isaiah chapter 11, verses 1 through 10 paint a picture for us of a time that is not yet, but will be, when the wolf will live with the lamb, the leopard will lie down with the goat, the calf and the lion and the yearling together, and a little child will lead them. One man, Edward Hicks, spent his whole lifetime just painting this picture, this scene, over and over. He lived in Pennsylvania. He tried farming, but he wasn't very good at it. So he decided to try preaching, and he was better at that. But he still could not support his growing family, and so he also painted stuff, barns, tractors, anything actually that needed painting. It wasn't until 1820 that he applied paint to canvas on his first version of Isaiah 11, verse 6. All of the paintings that followed, 62 of them in all, were meant as gifts for friends and family. And while he lived, he was always better known as a preacher than as a painter. His paintings today are collectively known as the Peaceable Kingdom. Some of them also included Native Americans in the painting as well. Isaiah's words are a vision of hope, justice, and peace, centered on the coming of a righteous ruler from the line of David. A shoot shall come from the stump of Jesse, we read. Since Jesse was David's father, we see this as foreseeing a new Davidic kingdom arising, even though by then that dynasty was long gone. This ruler who was to come would not judge by appearances, but discern the truth and bring justice for the poor. In his time, this was a radical vision, when the vulnerable would be defended and the wicked would be restrained. The wolf and the lamb, dwelling together, foresaw a time when natural enemies could live in peace and harmony, and a little child would lead them. Because of this child, the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. In that day, the root of Jesse will stand as a banner for the peoples. The nations will rise and rally to him, and his resting place will be glorious. For the Jewish people, this was and still is a vision of God's peace extending far beyond Israel into the whole world. Today, it is considered to be a prophecy about the future messianic age, when this righteous king from the line of David will usher in justice, peace, and universal knowledge of God. Christian believers, both in the first century and today, also believe that this passage in Isaiah is about the Messiah. But we believe that the Messiah has already come, and that the future age is already here. It only awaits its final completion now. On all the rest, we agree. So that actually makes this a very powerful text for interfaith dialogue. It has also been used by both Christians and Jews to challenge Hobbesian ideas of politics and reimagine instead societies that are rooted in reconciliation and justice. I know that probably needs some explanation. So let's talk politics now. Not personalities, of course, but political science. I took one class in college on the subject, so of course I am an expert now. Hobbesian politics dates back to 1651. It believes that human beings are naturally always in conflict, engaged in a war of all against all. This necessitates a sovereign leader who has the absolute authority to impose order. In this political system, coercion is the primary tool, used ostensibly to prevent violence, but also violent itself in the achievement of its goals. There were, of course, alternatives to this, even in ancient times. Aristotle maintained that we humans are really political animals who flourish best within community. Therefore, politics is about cultivating virtue and the common good, not just about preventing violence. John Locke, who was a contemporary of Thomas Hobbes, also shared his belief in a sort of social contract. But John Locke advanced the idea of natural rights to life, liberty, and property. And yes, it was his ideas that greatly influenced our founding fathers, so much so that part of his second treatise on the matter is produced verbatim in the Declaration of Independence. He believed that government should exist only by the consent of the governed, and then only to protect rights, not to dominate. The Quakers, like Edward Hicks, also believed that politics should not be about coercion, but about embodying reconciliation, hospitality, and nonviolence. Their communities bore witness to the possibility of living such peaceful lives by living differently and resisting the logic of domination altogether. In more modern times, Jürgen Habermas argued that social coordination and legitimacy arise through communication oriented toward mutual understanding, not coercion or manipulation. Habermas believed that a democracy should be grounded in rational discourse, wherein citizens and institutions engage in inclusive dialogue to reach a consensus together. Okay, the political science class is almost over now. Let's get back to Isaiah's vision. In Isaiah's vision, a new ruler arises with wisdom, understanding, counsel, and the fear of the Lord. So, ruler, politics. He judges not by appearances, but with righteousness and equity, defending the poor and meek. His vision culminates in shalom. The wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and a little child shall lead them. As a result of that, the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the Lord and universal harmony. This vision in Isaiah frankly aligns better with almost any alternative to Hobbesian politics. Hobbesian politics is about order maintained through fear and authority. Think Roman Empire, if you will. But Isaiah's ruler judges with righteousness and equity, not coercion. Hobbes imagined peace as the absence of conflict under a strong sovereign. Isaiah imagined peace as reconciliation of opposites, with the wolf and the lamb living together in peace. Hobbes' vision is pessimistic and believes that humans must be restrained. Isaiah's vision is optimistic and believes that humans, and indeed all of creation, can be renewed. Isaiah's hopeful vision is not about suppressing conflict through fear, but about transforming conflict into harmony through wisdom, justice, and shared knowledge. Hobbes, in his book Leviathan, explained why societies fear collapse, as Rome eventually did. But Isaiah's prophecy points beyond that fear to a new creation that is grounded in dialogue, righteousness, and peace. We have long believed that Jesus was and is the fulfillment of Isaiah's prophecy. He is the root of Jesse. He is a banner for the people of every nation, and nations continue to rally to him. His resting place has indeed become glorious, because it became an empty tomb that spoke to us of everlasting life. His words and teachings, what Isaiah calls the rod of his mouth, continues to slay the wicked today, mostly by transforming them into good people. And the little child here, well, it was perhaps inevitable that we would equate Isaiah's vision also with the child in the manger. After all, the angels did sing at his birth and promise us peace on earth and goodwill toward men. How bold it was for Edward Hicks to combine this vision of Isaiah with the image of colonists gathered together in peace with Native Americans. Now, as a nation, we've never quite lived up to the image that he painted either. But then I think that we are still trying to bring Isaiah's vision into life, into our life together. In order for that to happen, I believe that the little child, who also became the Good Shepherd, will have to lead us. May God hasten the day. Be safe, and God bless you.